Good morning and welcome back to the USWRA Low Point Wheelchair Rugby National Championships, hosted by Rise Adaptive here at the Georgia Faro Recreational Center in Irving, Texas. We had an exciting slate of games, eight games total yesterday. That included all kinds of hard action and one broken window. Hopefully we can get all of the hard-hitting action and none of the broken windows today. In this game, Game 10 of the Low Point Rugby National Championships, we have the TIRR Texans taking on the Sportable Possums out of TIRR hails from Houston, Texas, and the Sportable Possums hail from Richmond, Virginia. On the opening tip-off, nobody has control of it yet, but number 13 for Sportable attempts to gain control. Instead, Brian Spurley from the Texans gains control, but he has to watch out for that mid-court line so he doesn't get called for a penalty. Spurley is able to pass up to Sebastian Broussard, who wheels in for the opening try of the game. .13 has the inbound for Sportable Possums. He's weaving around back and forth down low, trying to find himself an opening, but he doesn't find one. So he calls timeout. Birch has the inbound for Sportable Possums with Paul Hopkins closing in. Birch gets stopped just before that midcourt line, but he's able to dump the ball off to number 15. 15 doesn't go anywhere, so he dumps it right back to Birch. Birch rolls around to the left side of the court trying to find himself some space. Doesn't get any, but it looks like number 13 was forced out of the goal line by Paul Hopkins, so that will be a turnover. TIRR Texans ball. Paul Hopkins has the inbound for the TIRR Texans, driving midcourt, and then dumps the ball off to Steve Curley on the right side to roll in for the try. Texans are off to an early 2-0 lead here as number 11 takes the inbound pass back from Birch for Sportable. Levern finds some space on the right side and drives it all the way in for a try. Spurley on the inbound for TIRR Texans. Gets the ball into Hopkins, who crosses into the center and runs into traffic, but he's able to dump it off to Steve Curley on the left. Steve is looking for space, finds himself an outlet to attempted pass to Paul Hopkins, but Hopkins is not able to bring it in. Ball rolls out of bounds. It will be Possums ball. Birch takes the inbound for Sportable, pops it up in the air, and then gets it right back to number 11, who dumps it over his back, hoping to find somebody. He does find 15. 15 cannot bring it in, though. Loses the ball out of bounds. TIRR Texans ball. Curley takes a breath and lets his team set up before driving in on the Sportable key defense. Aims for that right corner. Can he squeeze in behind? He can. That's a try for Steve Curley. attempted inbound to Birch for Sportable fails. He loses the ball at the corner. It will be TIRR Texans ball in that far corner. Curley takes the inbound for TIRR, rolls up high to allow the rest of his team to set up. Oh, but Birch is not waiting. He doesn't have the same kind of patience. He comes charging after Curley. Frees Curley and loose to chase that B gap, but he gets stopped. Looks like Paul Hopkins forced number 15 out of the try line, so that will be a penalty against number 15. He heads to the penalty box, and Spurley heads to the corner to inbound for the Texans. Paul Hopkins takes the easy inbound for a try. Number 15 has the ball for Sportable, trying to work his way around the left side of the court, but there's lots of traffic there to be had. Passes the ball off to Birch, who works his way back center. Puts the ball up for a pass, but there's nobody to get it, and it doesn't matter because they have a 12-second violation. TIRR Texans ball. Steve Curley takes the inbound for TIRR Texans. Wheels around in circles up high to give his team some time to set up. Comes charging at C gap, but then cuts over to try and make that left corner. It closes off, so he cuts back center. Airs the ball out for Paul Hopkins. Paul Hopkins brings the ball in, but it looks like one of the Sportable players exits first, so it will be a penalty try. Birch has the inbound for Sportable Possums, working his way up the left side of the court. He's got room to roam, and he will roam all the way in for a try. Hopkins is looking for the inbound for Spurley, takes it in down low, and immediately busts over to the right side of the court. Cuts back to the center. He's got lots of space to maneuver around here, and we'll roll it right up the center into Birch, who gets some stop. Hopkins dumps it off to Spurley, cuts back center, looking for space on the right. He doesn't find it. He's locked up in the crowd. Spurley cuts back all the way to right and finds an outlet, and Steve Curley cutting across center for a try. Birch takes inbound over the top and swings back down low, looking for room on the left side of the court. There is none, so he cuts back right. Still working that center, stopped by Spurley. Gets the ball up to 15. He's working a push, but Hopkins catches up to him and stops him cold. Block from number 13 helps 15 get a little bit of space to maneuver around here. Goes up the center, puts the ball up. The great catch made by number 11, who was able to bring it in for a try. Curley doesn't find who he's looking for in the inbound, so he calls a timeout. Danny Ortiz will take the inbound. Passes it off to Steve Curley on the right side of the court. He's working that right sideline. He's got lots of space on that right sideline, and he will use it to go all the way in for a try. Birch calls for the inbound for Sportable. Dumps off a give and go to Mandy Marciano, then takes it right back. He's cutting back center, looking for space. He gets stopped up by J.J. Narvaez and Spurley. He's looking for an outlet, puts in a deep bump. Ortiz tries to make a play on it, but can't make it. But neither can anyone else. It'll be out of bounds. TIRR Texans ball. Stand corrected. That was Possums ball. They will take the ball in from the corner. Number 11 takes the inbound pass from number 13, then dumps it right off to Birch. Birch is lining up high with defense from JJ. No dice coming around the right. He tries to turn back, but JJ is there to stop him again. He's able to back out of a double team by JJ and Spurley. Works his way back around the far right side, looking for that corner, but Steve Curley is there to stop him. So he calls a timeout. Birch takes the inbound from number 11 for Sportable. TIRR Texans have dropped back into a key defense with J.J. Narvaez working the outside. Birch tries to find the center, but he gets stopped by Curley. Puts up a pass to number 11, but 11 can't bring it in. Bounces off him and rolls away. It will be a play clock violation. TIRR Texans ball. Spurley will take the inbound off the sideline for the Texans. Dumps it into Danny Ortiz. Ortiz puts the ball up, aiming for Spurley. Spurley's eventually able to wrangle it in. Charge toward the goal for a try. Birch takes the inbounds down low for Sportable. He's working his way around the right side of the court. Cuts back. He's got Spurley on defense with Mandy Marciano leading around trying to help. He's not able to get around Spurley, so he calls a timeout. Number 11 for Sportable will come to the sideline to inbounds the ball. His inbound target is Birch, right in the middle of the court. Takes the ball just as he enters the front court. TIRR Texans are once again in key defense setup. Birch wheels around. He's looking for space on the center. Danny Ortiz has him blocked out. He's rolling around back and forth, but Ortiz is tired of waiting, so he comes out and hits him up high. Spurley gives him an assist on the inside. He's looking for number 11, but the pass is incomplete. TIRR Texans ball. Spurley will inbound from the corner for Texans. He puts in a deep bump. He's aiming for Steve Curley, but the ball instead bounces off Birch's chair. It's recovered by Ortiz, who dumps the ball right back off to Brian Spurley, pushing up the center, and is in a roundabout fashion able to find Steve Curley in the end, who takes it in for a try. Birch takes the inbound from number 11. 11 is blocked out on the baseline, and Birch puts in a deep pass. He's aiming for I don't know who. He doesn't find anybody. TIRR Texans ball. Spurley will take the ball in for the Texans from the corner. Spurley finds Ortiz breaking hard on the left side, looking for space, and he's got it. TIRR Texans will once again fall into a key defense while number 11 bumps a long pass to Birch. Ortiz comes out to pressure Birch, but Birch is able to ring it in. Birch is looking for room in the center, tries to split the gap between Curley and JJ, but it doesn't work. Dumps the ball off to Mandy Marciano, but she cannot bring it in. Turnover, TIRR Texans ball. Curley takes the inbound from Spurley, cuts back low, trying to use Spurley as a block, but runs into traffic. His pass is deflected by Birch. He's recovered by number 11. Gets the ball right back to Birch. He spins around trying to make his way through traffic, is defended by Spurley. He looks to pass to 13, but it was just a pump fake. He's still jammed up by Spurley, looking for an outlet. Birch makes his own play, rolls around to the left corner, trying to beat JJ in for the try, but it's not happening. Oh, he's able to back in thanks to a nice pick by teammate Mandy Marciano for the try. Curley takes the inbound back from Ortiz on the give and go. Rolling up hard on the right side of the court. He's got a nice block from Ortiz on the left side and insurance from JJ. Smooth sailing in for the try, but he's going to pull it up and burn some more clock while we wait. Birch takes the inbound for Possums and just holds onto it to burn off the rest of the time in the first quarter. The end of the first quarter of play here, the score is TIRR Texans 11, Sportable Possums 4. If this is your first time joining us for Low Point Wheelchair Rugby, the rules are pretty much the same as standard full point wheelchair rugby. The main difference is players are only allowed up to a classification point value of 1.5 before any deductions for age or gender. Hence why we call it low point rugby. Only the players with low point values are allowed to play. So high pointers aren't allowed to play in this game. It kind of brings it back to the roots of how wheelchair rugby started off in the first place. It was a sport founded by quads, for quads. But as the sport has grown over the years and individuals with higher function and higher speed have joined the game, a lot of low pointers have found themselves kind of relegated to blocking and defensive roles. And after a while, that gets a little bit boring. So they created low point rugby, where all of the game is up to low pointers. So they get to do the blocking, all the ball handling, passing, all the offense. And us high pointers get to sit on the sidelines and live stream for them instead. If you think that makes for any kind of easier game of rugby, you'd be dead wrong. I've practiced with the TIRR Texans all offseason this summer, and I can tell you it is not fun playing on a court with 7 low pointers at the same time. You really can't go anywhere, so it puts a heavy emphasis on the fundamentals of the game, your pick and rolls, and your positioning if you want to get anywhere on the court. Hopkins takes the inbound from Ortiz for TIRR. He's looking for space on the left side. It's not there, so he puts a pass up to Spurley in the front court. Spurley gets it back to Hopkins, who immediately puts the ball off for Sebastian Broussard, who was able to wrangle it in for a try. Birch takes the inbound for Sportable. Spins around on the left side of the court, swings all the way back right. But he's got Sebastian in there, puts a good hit on him. He tries to put a pass up, deflected by Hopkins, but it's recovered by number 13, who gets the ball back to Birch. Pick from Marciano on Hopkins gives Birch a little bit of room to roam around. Danny comes in, but he's blocked out by number 13. Spurley is also blocked out, and Birch is able to take it all the way on the right side for a try. Hopkins has the inbound for TIRR Texans. He's looking for Danny Ortiz, but it bounces off Danny's picker out of bounds. Sportable ball. Birch takes the inbounds out of the corner from number 11 for Sportable. Lets 13 set up a pick for him so he can work his way back around center. He's going ahead. Looks like he's going ahead against Hopkins. Instead, cuts back to Ortiz. Jukes out Ortiz, is able to cut in that B gap for a try. Spurley has the ball for the Texans, is able to dump it off to Hopkins, who puts up a nice floating pass for Danny Ortiz, who can reel it in and roll his way in for a try. Number 11 has the inbound for Sportable. He's looking for Birch. Slides his way along the sideline, gets the ball on the Birch. Comes in, set himself up as an outlet receiver, but Birch is hauling up the left side of the court. He's got Danny Ortiz burning him down fast. Is he able to get him? Danny Ortiz hooks him right before the line. Nine works toward Hopkins, is able to shoot a gap between Hopkins and Broussard for a try. Danny Ortiz goes for all the marbles with the bump deep to Spurley. Spurley brings it in and races around number 13 for a try. Eleven puts in a deep bump pass for Manny Marciano, but she can't bring it in, so Sebastian Broussard will watch it roll out of bounds. TIRR Texans ball back in the far corner. Or near corner, I guess, depending on your perspective. Broussard will inbound for TIRR Texans out of the corner. Hopkins takes the inbounds from Broussard, puts a pass up to Spurley for a try. Birch takes the inbounds, but is well defended by Danny Ortiz down low. He's cutting back, trying to find space, but he's got D against Hopkins and Broussard now. He's looking for an outlet. Will he find one? He puts a bump up, but it took too long. That's a 12-second violation on the Possums. TIRR Texans ball. Hopkins will inbound to Spurley for the Texans. Spurley calls for his team to set up a play. .13 gets aggressive, comes out to block Spurley, but he's able to bounce around it and shoot a gap between Birch and 11, but he loses the ball at the line. It will be Sportable ball. Number 13 takes the inbound for Sportable. He's able to rein control over his chair along the right side. Puts a bump pass up, but it's intercepted by Paul Hopkins. Paul Hopkins backs up into the front court. Turns around, puts the ball up to Spurley on the right side. Spurley attempts to pass over 11, but the ball is stuffed and stolen. 11 puts the ball up, but it is taken right back by Hopkins of the Texans. Hopkins drops the ball off to Danny Ortiz. He's got space on the left side, and he will take all of that space for a try. Birch takes the inbound again, but he's promptly stuck by Hopkins. He's able to turn out of it and roll up that right side, though. Puts up a pass to number 11, who's streaking on the left side. And number 11 will take it all the way in for a try for Sportable. Inbounds from Hopkins is Spurley interrupted. Looks like we have an equipment issue on Mandy. She needs some sleeve adjustment. Ortiz takes the inbound on the right side, cuts back center, works back right, and he's hung up by Birch. Gets the ball over to Hopkins in the front court center. Hopkins works his way around 11 and pushes his way all the way in on the right side for a try. Birch takes the inbounds on far left side of the court, trying to find his way out of his blocker. He's got Ruin up the center. He airs it out deep for number 13, but he's not able to bring it in, so the ball rolls out of bounds. That will be TIRR Texans ball. Spurley will inbound for the Texans out of the corner. Paul Hopkins fighting for a contested ball, but he's able to bring it in and put it back over the top to Danny Ortiz around the center of the court. Danny Ortiz pushes up to the front court, gets himself a long distance bounce in, recovers it, and brings it in for a try. Number 11 puts a long bounce pass into 15. He's able to recover it. He's going to race toward the try line, but Danny Ortiz is coming in hard. Will he be able to stop him? Danny Ortiz gets the stop, forces 15 to turn back. 15 takes a breath, waits for Birch and the rest of his team to catch up. Now Birch has the ball on the right side. He's got coverage against Spurley. He tries to shoot the gap between Spurley and Ortiz, but is stopped, so he dumps the ball up to 15. He takes it in for a try. Nice over-the-top inbounds on the Texans to Brian Spurley. He will take it all the way across the court uncontested for a try. Eleven takes the inbounds from Birch and dumps it right back off to Birch. TIRR Texans have dropped back into the key defense again. Birch works for that B gap, but Paul Hopkins has it defended well. He's spinning around trying to find a gap. Instead, dumps it off to 11. 11's fighting for space on that line against Hopkins, and eventually he's able to break free. Ortiz takes the inbound for Texans, dumps it off to Paul Hopkins. Hopkins works his way back around center. He's got some space, but defender's in front of him, so he puts the ball up over the top to Broussard. Broussard brings it in, but he's stopped by Birch. Broussard dumps the ball off to Ortiz. Ortiz squeezes his way in. Birch takes the inbounds from number 15, dumps the ball off over the top to 11. 11 has to spin around a little bit to get it, tries to get the ball back to Birch, but the pass is wide. Well, it looks like it was deflected. Instead, it will remain sportable ball. TIRR Texans call for a substitute. J.J. Narvaez comes in for Danny Ortiz. Birch has the ball on the far right side, but he's getting cross center. It's a race between him and J.J. Narvaez, who has the speed. Doesn't matter because he throws it to number 11, who rolls across for the try. Spurley puts a long bump pass over to Hopkins, but it's just out of Hopkins' reach. He can't roll it in. It will be sportable ball back on the near corner. Inbounds to Birch for Sportable. Birch is driving, looking for space along that right side, but Paul Hopkins closes the door. However, he's able to get the pass over the top to 11 for the try. Spurley inbounds to Hopkins down low for TIRR. Hopkins is able to break free and go up the center. He's got Birch to beat, and he's got JJ to help. That's all you need. Eleven works with 15 for the give and go on the inbound, but they get jammed up, so they dump the ball right back off to Birch. Birch is working up the right side of the court, trying to find space along that sideline, but JJ has him well covered. Birch calls a timeout. Eleven will come to the sideline to take the ball in for the Sportable Possums. Paul Hopkins gets a hand up. He tries to bump the ball deep to number 15. Is able to sneak the ball in over Broussard. 15 brings it in and takes it in for a try. Hopkins has the inbound for the Texans. Looks for a give and go with JJ. JJ turns up, gets jammed up, loses the ball out of bounds. It will remain TIRR Texans ball. Paul Hopkins takes the inbound for TIRR again from the corner. Paul is looking deep for Sebastian Broussard. He finds him, but Broussard isn't able to bring the ball in. He loses it out of bounds. That will be sportable ball. Sebastian wishes he had that pass back. Sportable inbounds the ball to Birch. Cuts back toward the center, but gets jammed up by Broussard. Birch is looking for an outlet, puts a bump up to no one in particular, and Paul Hopkins comes up with a recovery and then races in for the try. Number 15 takes the ball in for number 11, but he's well defended by JJ. Works back and forth. Who's he got? Puts a bump up for number 11, who grabs the ball, but he's right on the baseline. Hopkins slams him back for a backcourt violation. TIRR Texans ball. Spurley will inbound the ball to Hopkins from the sideline for the Texans. Paul Hopkins trying to pick up some speed, jams into that C gap, and is able to split number 11 and 15 for a try. Birch is racing up the right sideline against Spurley. Birch gets stopped by JJ in the front court, but he's able to dump the ball off to 15. 15 gets hooked up by Hopkins in the key. Whatever he's going to do, he's got to do it quick. Gets out of that key so he doesn't get a violation. 15 works his way around. He's looking back on the left side of the key, trying to find some space. There's no opening in the corner, so he cuts back. Now he's going back to the corner. The corner is well defended by Brian Spurley. 15 dumps the ball off to Birch. There's only 3 seconds left. Birch draws a reaching penalty on Sebastian Broussard with 3 seconds left on the play clock. Number 11 will inbound the ball out of the corner for Sportable. Gets the ball over Hopkins to Birch. Birch is well defended by JJ and Hopkins. The 15 has a pick to help break him free. He spins around, but JJ is not letting him go. Puts the ball over the top to 15, but they're out of time. It's a turnover, TIRR Texans ball. Oh, we're at the end of the second quarter. As we roll into the half, the TIRR Texans have a score of 23. Sportable Possums 13. Welcome back to the start of the third quarter. Here in Game 10 of the USWRA Low Point National Championships. Birch will inbound the ball from around the sideline around mid-court for the Possums. He's able to find 15 over Curley for a try. Hopkins finds Curley crossing high on the inbounds. Curley works his way back up, follows Paul Hopkins, monster block in against Birch, and squeezes through the traffic for a try. Birch inbounds to number 11, rolls a little bit too fast for him, but is able to get the ball back from anyway. He's working the left side, cuts back center, but doesn't find anything, comes back, but he's defended by Paul Hopkins. Spurley comes in with the assist and stops him, forcing an 8-second no dribble penalty against Birch. TIRR Texans ball. Ortiz comes to the sidelines to inbounds for the Texans. Ortiz dumps it out to Curley. Up high 4 on the inbounds. Curley looks for space. He's trying to find that corner. JJ's got it sealed out. Makes it easy for Steve Curley to roll in for the goal. Number 11 has the ball on the inbounds for Sportable. He's trying to find his way up the right side, but JJ stops both of them. 11's able to squeeze around, squeaks by Curley. Curley's working hard to catch back up, but he won't. Ortiz calls inbounds for the Texans from all the way across the court. Finds Curley on the far left side of the court. Curley's got JJ to block. He's able to squeak through around Birch and find the center of the court as he moves up court against number 11. Number 11 can't beat him. Birch takes the inbounds on the right side of the court. Swings back to the center. He's got JJ on defense in front of him. Andy Marciano picks out Ortiz. It's Birch versus JJ in the center of the court. Birch is able to dump the ball off to 15, but 15 can't bring it in. He loses the ball. It's still live, though. Was he able to get it back? 15 gets it back. Fair in the corner. '15 puts a bump off. He's aiming for Manny Marciano, but instead he finds Danny Ortiz. Danny Ortiz is racing up the center of the court. He's got JJ to block, and he will take it in easy. '15 takes the inbound from 11 for Sportable. Weaves his way up the middle. Finds some space along the right side. There's a defensive breakdown. Curley comes over to the top to cut him off a little bit. But 15 continues to work toward the goal until Curley stops him, or JJ stops him. 15 dumps the ball back to 11. 11 bashes through Curley in that corner for a try. Curley puts up a long bump for Danny Ortiz in the front court. Ortiz brings in the pass. He gets slammed by 11. Somebody has a flat. Who is it? It's Danny Ortiz. Great move to get open and bring in that pass for Ortiz, but he can't capitalize on it because of a flat. Ortiz will take the inbounds off the sideline for the Texans. Curley is waiting high to receive. Curler rolls over to the left side of the key. He's got lined up with Sebastian Broussard low. Danny Ortiz high right, JJ low right. Steve is looking for that C gap. Instead runs into 15, dumps the ball off to Ortiz. He's able to wrangle the ball in, back his way through traffic in for a try. Birch takes the inbounds down low for the Possums. Juggles the ball a little bit, stops his progress, but he works his way back around, puts up a long pass for 15. 15 brings it in with that left hand. Dumps it to 11. 11 loses control of the ball. It's loose down low, and Danny Ortiz recovers. Danny Ortiz puts on the brakes as Birch rolls by him and then pushes up into the front court. Danny Ortiz got traffic, but dumps it off to Steve Curley, coming around the right side against number 11. Steve is not able to beat 11 around the corner. JJ comes in, sets up, scores the try. Eleven takes the inbound for Sportable. Tries to work his way behind 15, but there's no doing, so he gets the ball back to Birch. It's Birch versus JJ in the center of the court. Birch works his way around the right. He's looking for an outlet. He's got nobody, so he puts it up. JJ Narvaez is there, however, to take the ball back for the Texans. JJ gets the ball back over the front court to Danny Ortiz. Ortiz is working ways around the right side, curls back around, works his way around Mandy. Finds space on the left, challenges number 15 and wins for the try. Birch takes the ball on the inbounds on the far right side for Possums. Works his way back around the right side. He's looking for that sideline. Forces back inbounds by Curley, but he's got space in the center. Puts a pass up for number 11. 11 can't bring it in. It's off his fingertips out across the try line. It will be a TIRR Texans ball in the corner. Broussard will inbound out of the corner for the Houston Texans. TIRR Texans. Broussard puts up a deep bump to Steve Curley, brings it in right around the half-court line and races toward the try line. Birch takes the inbound for Sportable. Up high as the TIRR Texans drop into a key defense. Birch is looking for room in center. He's got a big gap between Ortiz and Curley, but that gap closes quick. Drops a pass up to Mandy. She makes the reception and the try. Steve puts up a deep bump as Sebastian Broussard is racing down the front court all alone. He brings the ball in, spins around a little bit, regains his composure, and takes it in. Eleven will come down to the baseline to inbound for the Possums. Dumps it into Birch, down low center. Birch curls back around using 11 as a blocker, works his way up that right sideline, but Danny Ortiz comes in, forces Birch back to the center. Birch is across into the front court, but JJ sneaks up on him and hooks him. Birch dumps it off to 11. 11 brings it in, is challenging Curley for the corner. Oh, he loses that challenge. Looks like he gets an out and in penalty. That will be a turnover. TIRR Texans ball. Curley will inbound for the Texans out of the corner. Curley is looking for a deep pass to JJ. Instead finds JJ around the middle. JJ gets hooked up, bobbles the ball a little bit, but is able to recover and dump the ball off to Broussard, who is all alone. Birch has the inbound for the Possums as TIRR Texans mostly drop into the key. Steve Curley is a little bit late getting back into the key. He creates a gap, but Danny is able to hold the gap closed against Birch. Ortiz looking for a pass by 15, but it's deflected by Curley. Ball is still loose. It'll be a 10-second in the key violation against the Possums. TIRR Texans ball. Curley goes to the corner to inbound for the Texans. Curley dumps the ball inbounds to Danny Ortiz, working his way around the left side. Wants to cut back center, instead just shimmies around, works his way back out to the left side, breaks himself free into the front court. 11 can't catch up. Birch takes the inbound for Possums. Texans are not dropping into the key this time. They're playing on. JJ comes into defense on Birch. Birch crosses in the front court, but JJ is still there. Birch drops the ball off to number 11, who works his way around Broussard in the corner for a try. Ortiz takes the inbound from Curley. Wheels around a little bit, waiting for Curley to set up the block. Cuts back toward the center. Ortiz is looking for Curley over the top, but there's a miscommunication, and number 11 for Sportable comes in and picks the ball off. 11 dumps the ball right back to Birch. Birch is looking for space on the left side, but it's not there. Well defended by Broussard on the left. He's rolling back over to the right. JJ wants to defend it, but he gets hooked up by number 11. So he rolls in, dumps a pass off to Mandy, who takes it in for a try. Danny Ortiz was looking for a pass over the top to Curley, but it's deflected by number 11 out of bounds. It will remain TIRR Texans ball. Steve Curley sneaking around the left side, trying to avoid running over the official. Curls back hard to the right. Steve is pushing up hard up the center. He's got JJ to block, and that will be enough to get him to the corner. Birch comes in for the block, but isn't able to get a good position on him. Steve rolls around him for the try. Birch takes the inbounds over the top from number 11 for Sportable. Works his way back center, looking to use number 11 as a lead blocker. He's got Danny Ortiz on defense, joined by Sebastian Broussard. He puts the deep pass up into the front court, but it's picked off by JJ. JJ dumps the ball back off to Danny. Danny works his way back to the midcourt, but he's stopped, still in the backcourt. Jumps off an easy pass to Steve Curley. Gets the ball right back to JJ, who streaks right back into the center of the court to weave his way in for a try. Eleven dumps the ball off to Birch on the inbound. Working their way up the right side. JJ stops number 11. Birch cuts back hard across the right. Curley comes over to defend, but can't get a position on him. Ortiz will come over to the sideline to inbound for the Texans. Curley takes the inbounds up high as Sportable drops into a key defense with Birch up high. 11 gets caught with his back toward the rest of the court. Steve Curley makes him pay, knocking him out, scoring a penalty try. With 8 seconds left in the quarter, Birch takes the inbounds and just holds onto it to bleed the rest of the clock out. the end of the third quarter, your score is the TIRR Texans 37, Sportable Possums 20. As we enter the fourth quarter, it'll be TIRR Texans ball. Brian Spurley comes over to the sideline to inbound for the Texans. Spurley puts the ball up for Hopkins, who brings the ball in, curls back around, roll behind both JJ and Spurley as lead blockers. He's cutting back around to the left, but the holes close. Hopkins gets jammed up just outside the key. He's looking for an outlet. Texans reset. Hopkins works his way around number 31, trying to find that B gap, but it closes. He's looking for the corner, but there's nothing there. Cuts back. Looking for the C gap, instead puts it over the top. Ooh, what a dangerous pass, but Spurley's able to bring it in for the try. Birch takes the inbound, is immediately stopped down low by Spurley and Broussard working together. He's got his own teammate blocked out, so he puts a bump up to nobody in particular. Paul Hopkins takes control of the ball in the backcourt. Pushing hard around to the right side. Crosses up into the front court, gets himself a bounce. He's one-on-one against Birch. Instead cuts in, gets a nice little pick block from Spurley for the try. Birch has the ball down low, but he's all hooked up on Spurley, so he dumps the ball up to 15. 15 is being defended by JJ. 15 finds Birch coming around the left side, but it was not in time. That's a 12-second violation on the Possums. TIRR Texans ball. JJ inbounds the ball right to Brian Spurley for a try. Birch once again takes the inbounds low for Sportable Possums. Is well defended by Spurley and Broussard. He's able to find number 11 who gets loose. Bumps the ball right over the top of Paul Hopkins at number 31. He catches it and backs his way in. Can he find the goal? No, JJ Narvaez catches him, but he's able to wiggle his way loose and eventually score that try. Hopkins inbounds the ball over the top to Spurley in that corner. Nothing's going, so TIRR calls a timeout. J.J. Narvaez comes to the sidelines to inbound the ball for the TIRR Texans. Sportable is running a hard deny and pays off as 11 deflects the ball out to Birch. Birch waits for his blocks to set up, cuts back hard across the right, looks for 31, throws a bullet of a pass to 31 in the corner for a try. JJ takes the inbounds for the Texans, works his way up the middle side of the court. He's looking for options instead. He drops the ball across his own picker. The ball is loose. Who will be able to come up with it? Spurley's got a hand on it, but it's bouncing around. JJ's got the ball back. JJ gets the ball out to Paul Hopkins, who dumps it over the top to Spurley, who's worked his way free on the left. Spurley's looking for that corner. Instead puts the ball over the top to Hopkins. It's stopped low, but is able to break free for the try. Birch takes the inbounds on the right side for Possums. He's looking to pass, but it's deflected by Hopkins and recovered by Spurley. 15 has a hand on the ball, but Spurley is able to keep control of it and dump the ball off to JJ low for a try. Birch takes the inbound low, is working against Hopkins and JJ to push up the court. He gets stopped by both, but is able to dump the ball off to 11. 11 gets at him in the front court, finds number 31, who's running loose again. This time 31 cannot bring it in. It will be TIRR Texans ball. If you're wondering why the TIRR Texans keep leaving 31 loose, well, there's your answer. Inbound from Spurley was deflected by number 11 out of the sideline. Spurley will inbounds again. JJ takes the inbounds just this side of the half-court line. Ooh, dangerous move by JJ. Gets stopped for an over and back violation. .11 will inbound the ball for Sportable on the sidelines. Birch takes the inbounds, defended by Paul Hopkins and Spurley. Cuts his way across to the right. Officials blow the play dead. Looks like we're having a clock malfunction of some sort. Sportable will inbounds the ball again from the same spot. 11 attempts to bring the ball in, but loses it. It's recovered by Spurley, and then Spurley is fouled. A reaching foul on Birch, so Birch will say hello to the penalty box. Spurley to inbound from the sidelines, gets the ball in to JJ. JJ works his way back around left. He's got some space, cuts back as he comes up in the front court, tries to pass the ball to Hopkins, but it's low, off Hopkins' wheel and out of bounds. That's a turnover. It will be Sportable ball. Number 15 will inbound for Sportable from the sideline. Bumps the ball deep, straight to number 11. He brings off. That was a nice pass, number 15. 11 dumps the ball back, but he didn't have a good view. 15 is able to bring it in, but 11 is able to get to it and recover. Number 11 works his way far around to the right side as he's defended by Spurley. Spurley stops him in that dangerous corner. The ball is loose. Sebastian is going after it. Broussard reels the ball in. He takes his time before rolling in for the try. Oh, we have a technical foul on Paul Hopkins. of the TIRR Texans. So Paul Hopkins will spend some time in the penalty box as number 15 goes to the baseline to inbounds for Sportable. 11 is working his way up the right side, defended by Brian Spurley. Spurley is able to force number 11 out of bounds and take possession of the ball for TIRR Texans. Spurley will inbounds from the side, gets the ball into JJ, but it's out of his reach. JJ can't bring it up. Sportable ball. Number 11 puts in a deep pump pass into the front court for 31, who reels it in. 31 scores himself another try. JJ inbounds for the Texans, getting the ball into Brian Spurley. Pushes hard along the right side of the court, but he's got Birch pushing hard along with him. Birch is able to turn Spurley back. Threads a needle on a pass to Paul Hopkins, who streaks in for the try. Great pass, Spurley. Birch takes the inbounds. Looks deep for number 11, who brings the ball in on the right side. Hopkins comes in to defend, hooks number 11, gets him stopped. 11 dumps it back off to number 15. He's looking for Birch. He finds Birch streaking along the left side, comes in for his own goal just before getting forced out by Spurley. Looks like Birch is able to get those front two caster wheels across the try line before Spurley was able to force his big wheels into the cone. Hopkins takes the inbounds on the left side for Texans. He's stopped by 11 and 15, but he has JJ to come help break him free and looks over the top, puts a high pass for Broussard. Can Broussard bring it in? No, not quite fast enough. Good pushing though, Broussard. Birch takes the ball in the corner for Sportable, then launches the ball deep for number 31, who's lounging around again. Takes the ball in for an easy try. JJ takes the ball inbound for the Texans. Works his way back across the middle. He's running into traffic. Looks for an outlet. He finds one in Brian Spurley. Spurley bumps the ball off to Paul Hopkins on the left side, and Hopkins will roll in uncontested for the try. TIRR Texans will take a timeout with 2:25 left in the fourth quarter. Texans are currently holding on to a 10-point lead over the Sportable Possums. Coming out of the timeout, 15 inbounds the ball to Birch for Sportable. Birch is working his way back around left side with Spurley on the defense. Spurley forces the turn. Birch puts up a dangerous pass that goes through Hopkins' hands, and it's rolling free. Broussard makes a play on it, but he can't bring it in. There's a scrum down there. Nobody has control of this ball. Who's reaching for it? Number 31 on Sportable, number 15 on Sportable. Paul Hopkins is able to get away between them and dump the ball back out to Brian Spurley. Spurley puts it up over the top to JJ, who's all alone in the front court. Birch takes the inbounds low for Sportable, but he's got JJ on defense. He's working his way around, trying to beat JJ, but he can't. JJ got some stuff, so Birch puts in a deep bump pass. He's looking for number 31 over Broussard, but 31 cannot bring the ball in. It was just off his fingertips. TIRR Texans will take the ball out of the corner. Spurley inbounds to JJ, who immediately works his way to the center court. He's looking for an outlet, but he can't find any. Gets the ball swiped away by number 15, but Spurley recovers, then dumps the ball off, and Birch intercepts it. Birch puts a pass up to 15, but 15 can't bring it in. It was off his fingertips and rolls out of bounds. Texans ball. Spurley inbounds to Hopkins, rolling around on the left side. Hopkins can't work his way free, so he looks for an outlet, finds one, and Broussard puts the ball over the top. Broussard is able to chase it down and bring it in, and roll it in for a try. Birch has the ball on the left side, working his way back center all the way over to the right. He's got lots of space here on the right side. Two defenders up in Spurley and Broussard, but he's got a blocker for number 31 and takes it in clean for the try. Hopkins finds JJ on the inbound for the Texans. JJ works his way back right, gets jammed up by 11, tries to put in a pass, but it's sloppy, and Spurley can't bring it in. It's a loose ball recovered by Birch. Birch drops the pass up to number 15, who's hung up on Broussard. Looking to get free, puts the ball back up over his shoulder on a hope and a prayer, and finds Birch, who then dumps the ball off to 31 to sneak in for the try for Sportable. JJ once again takes the inbound for the Texans. He's working his way up the center. Slows down a little bit, comes in behind Broussard for some blocking. Now rolls all the way over to the left. He's got a good wall in front of him as JJ takes it in for the try. Birch inbounds low, tries to put a big bump up, but Paul Hopkins gets a hand on it and deflects it. It's recovered by 11, but not in time. That is the end of regulation. With the final score, the TIRR Texans defeat the Sportable Possums 48-27. Thank you for joining us here for Game 10 of the USWRA Low Point Wheelchair Rugby National Championships, hosted by Rise Adaptive Sports at the Georgia Faro Recreational Center in Irving, Texas. We won't be streaming every game today because that's just a lot of work, folks, and I'm one man. So I'll be joining you the game after next. Check our schedule on our YouTube channel to find out when I'll be streaming next. I look forward to joining y'all then. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Saturday.